burning down the house. Alright, let's stop it there. Hello Friday Ketchup. Hello, thank you very much for watching. This week I'm here with Michael Banks of Smart People. Michael, we were listening...
People smart.
What did I say?
Yeah, we are smart people as well.
Smart people smart. Okay, what's in the name? Hey Michael, we were listening to Burning Down the House from Talking Heads. Before you introduce yourself, can you explain us why this song?
Basically because I got anarchist inklings, and I love the aggression and passion of that chorus line, burning down the house. It's got real energy in it, which I love. So it's a bit of a rebellious type of song. Maybe that's not a good thing. But and actually if you read the lyrics of the song, they don't really make sense.
Oh, okay. Well, just like the Friday Ketchup, it doesn't really make sense. But nevertheless, we have you in the show today. And Michael, can you introduce yourself to the Friday Ketchup audience? Because you're not a SUSE employee, but you are in the show. So let us know why and what you do at Smart People Smart. I said it wrong again. I probably will keep on saying it wrong.
I think it could work even better saying smart people. It's more explicit. What I do a number of things. I'm a principal consultant with People Smart. And People Smart is a network of consultants around the world working with people and leadership development.
All right.
Especially now, important because the projects we do are within the context of digital transformation, culture change, business transformation, all that stuff that's going on, change and so on, and particularly applying emotional intelligence to the whole skill set of leaders and managers and so on. And I'd like to we'll talk about that a bit. But anyway, so what I do is I've got a podcast series called Leadership Luminaries. And I also I do workshops. I'm on panels and conferences. I do a lot of things. It's fun.
It sounds like a fun job for sure. I listened to two of your latest podcasts from Leadership Luminaries. I'll put a link underneath. And can you explain the Friday Ketchup audience why they should listen to those podcasts?
Yeah, thank you very much. I love, it's my passion. I mean, I love having sometimes profound, sometimes humorous conversations with very interesting people. I mean, a leadership luminary is someone that sheds light on a particular sphere of life or business. And so my series is very eclectic. And as you know, my latest one is with a guy who founded the Green Funeral Company. And it's all about funerals. It's about how the rave and punk culture informed his decision to be a pioneer in the field. So the way he does funerals is very different from traditional funerals. The one before that was a woman who I know who's on the board of a Premier League football club in England. And she's all about how she's led the transformation of this tiny little club into the top division on the planet. So it varies enormously. You get academics. So if anyone wants to watch the series, it's not just a soundbite. It's really in-depth conversation, but very interesting people, very inspiring, very informative, and very authentic. So it's natural.
I can highly recommend it. I must say. Hey, and what we're going to talk about today, besides People Smart, and besides what you do, I have some things as well to share to the Friday Ketchup audience today, and that's one of the things I talked about a couple of times already. That is the Fairphone, and as the Friday Ketchup audience who listens to these videos once in a while know, I am a big fan of the Go Green initiative. So here it is. This is a Fairphone 4. It will be released very, very shortly. I have it here just before the release date to test it. And I must say, I only have it for a day now, but I really like it. But the idea about it is really great. Have you heard about the Fairphone 4?
Yeah, I actually have heard about it. I've heard about it from you.
From me, of course. Yeah, well, here you go.
I think you're a bit of a crusader for it. So yeah, I've listened to it.
Yeah. Now, what I like so much about it is many things they thought of thoroughly. How to make it more environmental friendly, or how it I would say decrease your footprint. We all have our footprint, and if you buy a normal phone, it is let's say this size, and if you would buy the Fairphone instead of a Samsung or an iPhone or any other, I would say all the other brands, you have double the size, and they managed to get it that small because you can really take it easily apart. So it's really like I try to demonstrate it here without breaking my nails, but it's just taking it apart, and then you see the back side of it, and you see that it's all components, and they guarantee to anybody who buys a phone now that for the next 5 years you will be able to buy all the components in here. So there's a battery, there's a component for the camera, there's a component for the microphone, all these things. You can buy them for the next 5 years, and they will support it for even 7 years. So that's longer than Google can give guarantee on the Android. So they give guarantee on an Android system they don't know yet. It's really quite amazing. So thank you very much, Fairphone, for sending these to me.
Can I interrupt a second? Do you mind? Because I've got to make a comment about that.
Yeah.
See, what you've just said is fantastic. The reason for that, why I'm saying it's fantastic, is because if you think about that, I've just changed my iPhone, right?
Yeah.
After a while, it's got inbuilt, failure. So you have to get a whole new phone.
Yeah.
What I love about this is that you can get components.
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
keeps going.
Yeah. It looks and feels pretty much similar. It's not that the specs are enormously better than the alternatives, but it's really the thinking behind it. They also have, if you look at their website, you can see they have quite some certifications for using environmental friendly components as much as possible. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. But only one day, but I'll keep the Friday Ketchup audience up to date with how I'm doing with this thing, because now I have to make sure that I can use it as my corporate phone. It's now sort of next to my corporate phone because all the security measures and everything, you imagine. But so Friday Ketchup audience, if you keep on watching the Friday Ketchups, you will get updates now and then. Anything else you like to share? So I had my Fairphone thing. Is there something else you like to share, Michael?
Yeah, for sure. But before that, don't you want to talk about the new acquisition and why that relates to the song?
Related to the song, yeah. That's funny, right? Because you chose the song "Burning Down the House," and when I heard that, I was thinking of the acquisition we announced today. That's the acquisition of Neuvector, and Neuvector is a security company around Kubernetes, around cloud infrastructures. So what they clearly say here is providing full lifecycle security for SUSE Ranger customers. So what I like so much about it, and forgive me if I'm not saying it completely right here, legal people and everybody at SUSE, but what I understood is that we will buy a proprietary, we bought a proprietary company, and we will open source their product. So it's not only that we develop open source and we help the open source community. In this case, it's really a proprietary product that now will be open sourced to any customer of Neuvector or the Ranger, but also even the products that are not in our stack, not in the SUSE stack. We will keep on fully supporting that to those customers as well, what I understood. And if I said something wrong, legal department, I'm sorry. I work for SUSE, but this is not a SUSE podcast or a YouTube video. So that's about Neuvector, but I'm really enthusiastic about it because from many researchers we know that security around Kubernetes is holding IT management, CISOs, holding back from making decisions in such a way that they can have a mixed environment with a cloud and on-premise and everything. So yeah, an acquisition around security is really, I think, a very, very good step of SUSE. So thank you very much, SUSE Management, for adding this great company to our portfolio. So yeah, that was my my main topic, I would say, the Fairphone, Neuvector. What else do you have for us, Michael?
Yeah, well, I wanted to talk to you, as you know, I've done a lot of work with people in technology.
Yeah.
In fact, I was just thinking before we started this conversation, I was in another room in the house, and I was thinking, you know, I remember working with Scott McNeely of Sun Microsystems back in the day, in a room with him when the company at Sun Microsystems was small enough to have the leadership group in one room.
All right.
Yeah, so I go back a way, and I used to live in San Francisco Bay Area for many, many years, half my life, and so I worked a lot with Silicon Valley companies, and also then later on the East Coast as well.
Yeah.
So I'm very familiar with working with software engineers, managers, and executives, CTOs, CIOs, and so on. So what I wanted to talk about is, because my specialty is emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. All right.
Emotional intelligence, which is a skill set that historically people have thought it's deficient in people that work in technology, because they're very, very bright people, incredibly bright, but they typically, and this is a generalization, want to work on their own in isolation. They might be rather introverted. They're so focused on their work on a rational, intellectual, mental level, and yet maybe their people skills are not as good as they could be or need to be in an environment where you're doing project by project. You need to collaborate across. You need to be able to lead people, and communication is vital. So I have been called in many times over the years to work with groups or individuals of people in your field, in your industry, to help them to become better at emotional intelligence and that whole skill set as well. So it's EQ as well as IQ. Now, I've got to say something, is that people think, you've got a bad rap, people like you. The bad rap is that, oh yeah, they're just computer heads.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't know anything about people and how to build relationships, because all they're concerned about is the software or whatever. I'm simplifying it. But I think that's unfair. I think it's simply because it's not that people who work in your field aren't good at it or couldn't be good at it. It's because typically they focused on doing the work they love to do, which is about, building the systems and the technology, and it's not primarily about the people. Typically, and again, I'm generalizing. So actually, what I've found is that when people in your field are introduced to the whole idea of the importance and skill set of emotional intelligence, they go, wow, yeah, you know what? That is really important, and I could benefit from it because I do need to collaborate more. I need to speak out more. I need to involve myself in meetings more and to learn the confidence and skills to do that. And so that's really important. And I've got loads of stories. Can I finish with one?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. We love your stories.
All right. So there's I'll never forget it. I did a lot of work with Goldman Sachs in New York back in the day. And they had this guy from Eastern Europe who was a brilliant technology engineer, brilliant. And the chief exec and the chief technology officer came to me and they said, we have a problem here. We've been telling him for literally 20 years that he shouldn't explode in the middle of an important meeting because he doesn't like the way the meeting was going. Okay? And he can't control himself. But he's still doing it. So anyway, to cut it short, I interviewed loads of people around him, and it was about 120 pages of data, verbatim data, all about this guy. I won't say who his name.
No.
And so I took him away for a whole day. We went through the data, word for word, no editing, no nothing.
All right.
And at the end of it, then he went away. He came back, typical engineer. He came back. He had this spreadsheet. He'd been through 120 pages, and he looked at the number of times each word was mentioned, and he color coded it. And so he literally, coming from his engineering mental approach, he mapped out what he needed to work on. And a year later, he was a different human being.
Wow.
He said, I can't believe it. You know, I'm getting along so well with my family now as well. and because he learned the skill of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and awareness of others.
Yeah.
So that it actually, in the moment, stop himself from going nuts if he didn't like the way the meeting was going.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. It was just such a tremendous breakthrough. And he was a lovely person to be around. Initially, he was horrible. He was a horrible man.
Yeah.
I'd go into his office, he'd be in front of the screen, he'd turn around, not like, how was your weekend, or how you doing, but, so, what are we doing today?
Okay,
so, completely no warmth or friendliness or anything.
No.
Like, scary. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, well, that's, I think, a great example of how if you communicate in a certain way, that it has to appeal or connect to the person. So what I think you did there, or maybe what he even did himself, was translating a very, I would say, emotional and subjective cause and matter into something which was for him easy to understand and easy to consume in such a almost like scientific way.
Yes.
He translated this emotion to science, and that's when he saw himself. Okay, so I have to change this, and this. Unbelievable! Yeah. Wow, that's a great story.
Yeah, and it works. I mean, what he used a scientific approach, as you say, to then become a more open, warm, friendly human being.
Yeah.
Which allowed him then to, he would have become, they said he would have become the chief technology officer.
Wow.
If he'd learned that lesson all those years ago.
Yeah.
So there's a lesson there for career development.
Well, a free lesson for career development to all people who are, I would say, more in the, if you look at the color theory of Jung, on the blue side. So it's a lot of detail to go into it for the Friday Ketchup, but if you are more into the technical and you prefer numbers above people, then you're very much in the blue side of the Jung theory. Hey, but I think we have covered quite some interesting topics, and I think we will go back to talking heads. Did we cover everything here? Yeah, we did. So I want to thank all of you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and the whole thing. If you are on LinkedIn, if you see this, please give us a heart instead of just a thumbs up, because that's been rewarded a lot more on LinkedIn. And I will close up with thanking you very, very much, Michael, for being my guest in the Friday Ketchup. And I look forward to meet you in person, because that way we said off the record that once the opportunity is there, we will come and go and meet in person. Maybe in
I'm coming to Nijmegen.
Yes, Michael is coming to Nijmegen.
So
thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much for watching. We'll go back to Talking Heads, and we are not going to burn down the house, but see you next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.